Well, good morning everybody, this is DearMamaSal on a strange Tuesday morning. It's 2 degrees in southern British Columbia in Canada, which would make it about 35 in American. So it's cool. Cooler than I like it, that's for sure. I'm a sun bunny. Makes you wonder why I live in Canada, right? Never mind. Today is the day I have to go and get my biopsy. Now, in case anybody doesn't know what a biopsy is, and I don't want to presume that everybody does, because I know we've got a lot of new viewers probably after December, and they might not know. Basically, what the situation is my doctor has seen something on my back that he doesn't like the look of particularly. Doesn't mean it's anything bad. It just means that he isn't 100% okay with it, and because he's not 100% okay with it, he would like to take a look at it. The only way you can take a look at it is to take it out and have a look at it. And that's called a biopsy. So what they're going to do at lunchtime today is just literally go in there and cut out a couple of bits of my back. Small bits, I hope. And send them off for tests. Now, most people, the moment they hear the word biopsy, have a little fit, because they link biopsy and cancer very closely. It's possible. Unlikely, but possible. And so the conversation I want to have today is about awfulizing. And I have had this discussion before, and I will probably have it at least once every year, how we can awfulize things and make them far worse than they really are. If you're an awfulizer, you will hear the word biopsy and immediately assume that you've got cancer and go into shock and fear and all those things. For those of us who have a slightly different mentality, I think that's where the word emotional intelligence comes in, right? If you're not overwhelmed by your emotions, then you look at it and you go, hey, all this is, it's like a blood test, right? If you're not feeling particularly well, the doctor will do a blood test to check if there's anything out of whack in your body. And this is like, he's seen something that doesn't dislike necessarily, but is not totally happy with. Therefore, he'd like to get it out of my system and have it checked, which I think is a very positive thing. Because if it is anything that's not too good, then it's much easier to deal with it when it's pretty new than it is if it's been very long time established. So, what awfulizing does to you is it puts you into panic. And panic is not going to help. Now, let me be totally honest about this because it's important. Is there part of me that's fearful? Yeah, a little bit. I think that's normal. I'm quite certain, for those of you who care about me, and a lot of you do, that probably a couple of you are a little bit fearful as well. But this is not anything that has been confirmed to be bad. This is just having a look. So I would ask you not to be fearful. That's your choice. And you're saying, well, how can I not be fearful? I'm going, you can make that choice. Say, hey, till we get the result, everything's good. And maybe after we get the result, it's even better. Yay. But if you're going to awfulize, then you've already presumed that it's going to be a bad result. And that's what awfulizing does. And I want to just link this back again. I said that I would be linking stuff back all week probably, and maybe longer, to December. Imagine if we had the technical problems that we did, and that the team had said, oh, well, that's it. You know, we've had to pull the plug on the broadcast, we've had to do this, we've had to do that. There is no way we can get to the goal now. I mean, it was a very, very high goal. You know, we doubled the goal in 1 year. It was a very high goal if everything had gone right. So when we had that much technical hassle in the first third, a lot of people would have just said, well, it's impossible to get the goal. See, and that would have been their mentality. They would have awfulized it. And what I love about our team was we just went, oh, well, I don't know what the rest thought, but I thought in between there, we're going to have to really hustle. You know, it was really quite amazing, the difference in mentality. It was just like, you know, up until this point, we thought we were going to have a challenge, and now we're going to have to really hustle. And it was fascinating to me, the way that nobody got into awfulization of it. Just kept saying, what do we need to do? What do we need to do next? And it was amazing that it was so positive the whole way. And I don't mind telling you, in that last hour when we got to 1 hour to go, and we still needed 25,000, you know, a lot of people would have just given up on that and said, well, that's not possible. They would have awfulized it. Whereas our team doesn't understand that sort of thinking. We just kept saying, what do we need to do? And then, of course, we all knew what we needed to do. We needed to do whatever it took. I would just like to say that we live in a life, we live in a world. Sorry, I've got idiot people without patience. I don't know about the rest of you, but look at this. A dirty great 18-wheeler is going to just cut me off. Are you insane? I'm not joking. We're just in a filter situation where everybody started filtering way back. And this dirty great 18-wheeler just decided, because he's that big, everybody's going to just stop for him. And we did. The only thing is, he just about clipped me. I don't think he missed me by more than probably 9 inches to a foot, if that. Oh, shame. Poor car. That was a bit close, wasn't it? I hate it when people do that. It's sort of like they've got a little sign in their car that says, I own the road, and the rest of the people are sharing it. Or I allow them to share it on my terms. I hate those sort of people. Anyway, never mind. Let me get over that. So, awfulizing. I'd like you to think for a second. How many times in a day do you awfulize things? You know, I can think that, you know, I do it. I still do it. I'm not perfect. Little things will go wrong, and I make them suddenly become much bigger things just by my thinking. Especially, for example, this year where, you know, I'm financially not as strong as I would like to be at this time of the year to do Christmas, because I got sick and had to take extra days off without pay. So I lost a lot of my last pay period, which means that I basically have got to hustle just to pay the bills and the mortgage and everything else this month. You can imagine that part of you goes, gosh, you know, that is horrible. And yet it really isn't. If you've got friends, which I do, And if all the friends totally understand what happened, which they do, and if you just stay honest and go, hey, this is not going to be the best Christmas in the world. And they totally get it. No biggie. What I've got to let go of, that's the interesting thing, and I wonder if any of you relate to this as well. What I've got to let go of is my perfect vision of Christmas. If I can let go of the vision of the perfect Christmas, I'll be okay. It's going to be a very quiet Christmas because everybody's away. I'm going to go on Christmas Eve and go and have dinner with some friends of mine, which means I'll get in my turkey, yay. But you know, other than that, it's going to be pretty quiet. And quite honestly, that's quite a good thing. I'll be able to rest, hopefully. So I'm quite excited about that. Now, I could awfulize it, couldn't I? I could make it far worse than it is. And it isn't at all. Okay, let me put it this way. I could say, oh gosh, you know, I don't have anybody to spend Christmas with. Well, that's not true. I could do a broadcast and have all the people I wanted. And I probably will do a broadcast. Because I'm pretty sure that there are other people that are going to be on their own on Christmas Day. Or not be around many people that they would like to. Or not be around the people that they'd like to be around. So, you know, it's just like, it's all about how do you think about this? Good. So, understand that this whole word biopsy is merely just a test. They're going to test, instead of the liquid, which would be like a blood test or a urine test or whatever, they're going to test the cells of my skin. And if you can keep that in your mind, there's no need to worry. Now, if the tests come back and says, hey, you know, this is what we found and it's pretty serious, then we'll worry. And I assure you, I will let you know. I won't keep that to myself. But I have, at the moment, I must admit, quite honestly, my level of fear is probably at about, I would say, about 5%. The rest of me just, you know, at the moment I don't have anything to be fearful of, other than the fact I hope that they freeze me properly so I don't feel them do the procedure they're going to do. Make sense? And so in life we have so many things that happen to us that are quite fearful. But most of the fear is in our minds. There's somebody, I can't remember where I read it many times before, but it's about that you fear most will come upon you. It probably comes from the Bible. That you fear most will come upon you. So I don't want to fear a whole lot because I don't want the bad stuff to happen. And there is no doubt that the things that you concentrate on, you're inclined to manifest. So this is going to be an interesting day. Now, the only thing I don't know, because I've never had a biopsy before, is I have no idea how painful it will be after the freezing has gone. I think they're going to do a couple of bits. So I'm not sure how active I will be this afternoon at work, or how much pain I might be in. I'm hoping not very much. And the other thing I don't know is what's it going to be like trying to sleep, because I'm inclined to sleep on my back. Well, I start on my side, but I'm pretty sure that most times I end up on my back. So those are two unknowns, and I'll let you know about those tomorrow. In the meantime, thank you all for all the great comments. I really enjoyed getting some of the comments over the last 24 hours. You obviously enjoyed December at a very deep level. I think the thing that pleases me the most, that touches my soul, is that our joy was your joy. In other words, that so many of you felt the emotion and the love in that room, and you traveled that journey with us. And I had at least one viewer wrote to me and said, it's like I'm part of your family. And I thought that was so cute, that she feels that connected to the different personalities. And I thought that was really wonderful. All right, everybody, I'm going to leave it on that point, and I might just add a little bit as I drive home or drive back to work, to let you know how the biopsy felt, because I got a feeling some of you will want to know that. I'll chat with you later. Bye-bye for now. Well, hi everybody. This is DearMamaSal back again, and I literally have just come out of the doctor's, having had my biopsy, and I thought I would let you know what it was like. Now, you need to start off by knowing I'm not what you call a brave person. And in a way, it was good, I guess, that this happened on my back, because I really couldn't see anything, obviously. But just so that if anybody ever has to have one, I thought I would let you know exactly what it felt like. First of all, I know the doctor for many, many years, and he knows me, and he knows my mentality. So he said, do you think you can sit up for this, or do I need to lie you down? And it was funny, because I said, yeah, I think I'm fine. Now, what he doesn't want is me fainting halfway through. Now, again, this is a mental thing. All right, if I spend my time concentrating on, my God, he's going to pick up a scalpel, and there's going to be blood, and, you know, I do a whole awfulizing number on myself, you know, I'm going to faint. That's for sure. And so I said to him, no, I think I'm going to be fine, but in case I'm about to sneeze, you know, I had this vision of either getting a cough or a sneeze, just as he was, you know, doing the deep excavation with the scalpel. Now, you know, it could have been nasty, so I said, what do I do if I feel I'm about to sneeze or whatever? He said, you just tell me. And I said, okay, fine. So then I felt more comfortable. And then I wanted to know, was he going to just be doing, you know, because I researched it a little bit. Now, there's a possibility that they could just do what they call a slice biopsy, which is he just slice the top part of the mole or whatever that he doesn't like the look of off, or to actually, you know, cut it out of my body. And he told me he was going to do both. He was going to slice the top half of it, and then he was going to cut out the rest. For a split second, I was a little bit scared, I must admit. For a split second, I thought, I wonder if I will faint. And then I thought, no, if I don't concentrate on that, I won't. So what I did was I started to have a chat with him, and we talked American politics, because he and I always talk about stuff like that. And there was lots of let me try and think. The most painful part of it, if word pain would not be the right word, the most uncomfortable part of it was putting in the anesthetic. you know, I can't say I didn't feel the needle go in, because I did, but it wasn't nearly as worrisome as maybe at the dentist. Let's put it that way. Let's do a comparison. So there was nothing painful about it. It was, you knew it was going on, let's put it that way. And quite honestly, after that, I could feel that he was doing things, but quite honestly, he could have been popping zips for all I knew. You know, I really wasn't aware of any sensation going on in terms of him cutting into me or anything. So it was that easy. He told me that he put 3 stitches in. One probably would have done it, but he knows that I'm not gonna he knows me. He knows I'm not going to be necessarily sitting on the couch doing crochet for the next week. And so he put 3 stitches in. I asked about the care, what do we need to do, because I can't reach my back. Plus, as you know, I'm likely to be on my own. And so I haven't got somebody who can sort of check on it every day. So he said, just, you know, watch out for infection, and if you feel it's getting infected, find somebody. I went, okay, fine. I'm not quite sure. Well, I'd make a plan, that's for sure. All right, so other than that, all is good, and I'm on my way back to work. And I certainly have to say to any of you, if you ever hear that word, in terms of having it done on your back, as I did, didn't feel a thing, other than the injection. You're probably wondering how long until we know the results. I have to go back in a week to get the stitches out. Unfortunately, they're in a place where I can't take them out myself, because I actually can do that. Quite like taking my own stitches out. I know it sounds gross, but I actually don't have an issue with it at all. I took so many stitches out of so many dogs and horses in my time that, you know, I don't have an issue about taking them out of my body. So I'm not sure if we'll have the results by then, but it's possible we might. And I said, well, should I just leave it later to have the stitches out? And he said, no, come back in a week, have your stitches out. So, do I look terrified? Do I look in pain? Do I look like this is something to be scared of? No. This is DearMamaSal saying, don't awfulize things that really aren't awful. And I'm going to get on with my life. Have a wonderful day. Look after one another, but most of all, look after yourself. This is DearMamaSal saying bye-bye for now.